Meeting basic needs like housing, transportation, and food is essential for clients to focus on their health. These challenges can make it difficult to prioritize treatment adherence even when the attention is there. The RISE program emphasizes practical strategies to help clients overcome these barriers and stay engaged in care. In this video, you will hear one story. This is the voice of one person, but there are thousands of voices to be heard.
Sharing a little bit about my journey and the challenges that I went through along the way. It all starts after I'd already graduated from college and had a successful business and was a homeowner. I ended up running into some troubles. I had a business disagreement which shut down my company, and at the same time I found out that my mother had colon cancer. What was supposed to be 3 to 5 years suddenly ended up being just a few months. That was very hard for me to handle, and it took away all motivation that I had to move forward with taking care of my business and other issues. Before I knew it, my husband and I were living inside of my Ford Explorer. We were constantly looking for some way out of our situation. Try as we might, it just went on, and suddenly we realized over a year had passed and we were still in that car. I ended up having a journey of homelessness for over 10 years. During that time, I became addicted to crystal meth. It was very difficult to find, not just the basics of life like food and shelter and companionship, but medical care. I had been taking, ART regimen for HIV and no longer had access to that. And it wasn't because they weren't giving it to me. It was more about how do I go into the doctor as dirty, as disheveled as I was. How do I make those appointments when I have no phone? How do I even know what day it is? How do I find clean clothing to go in? They always want to do some sort of physical, and the last thing I was going to do is take off my dirty clothing and be that vulnerable. Fortunately, I was able to find a way off the street and everything turned around. I've been housed since 2020. I really like who I am today. I really like the role that I play in the areas of HIV research, in the areas of homelessness and addiction. I've tried to take the three things that once most held me down and turn them into assets. And so rather than hiding from them, I'm facing them full on. When I'm trying to focus on the basic needs of life, it's often hard to then also prioritize my health. And a perfect example of that was during the time that I was homeless. During those 10 years, prioritizing my health was the furthest thing in my mind. It was about seeking shelter, finding food, finding water, finding the simple things like somewhere to use the restroom. Most of the places don't let you in when they can tell you're homeless. And then people wonder why people go in public places. Well, where else is there to go? Those types of needs become the focal point of what you need to do in your life because you need to survive for the next day. And your health, that's an extra. That's something you can worry about later, because right now in this moment I gotta make sure I'm safe and make sure that I'm gonna wake up tomorrow.
Clients often face overlapping barriers, but with access to resources and support, they can find ways to manage their basic needs and health goals.
It was very difficult to stay consistent with my medical care and my medications during the time that I was homeless and did not have my basic needs secured. In my mind's eye, there was no point that I was going to see a doctor until it was too late. The times that you saw a doctor was when you need to call an ambulance, when there's an emergency. It wasn't to go and have a checkup and have someone tell you need to do this, you need to do that. It was someone telling you it's too late.
Helping clients navigate basic needs like housing, food, and transportation lays the groundwork for stronger healthcare engagement. Using the RISE program's motivational interviewing skills, you can help guide clients towards practical solutions.
One message I would have for someone facing similar challenges would be, don't give up hope. That was the one thing that got me through. It wasn't a lot of hope, I just had a sliver. And that sliver was enough.
Watch other videos in this series to expand your skills and explore more ways to support your clients. In your next session, ask your clients about the challenges they face meeting their basic needs. Help them identify resources or strategies to make their health a priority.